Hello, hi. I hope you're well. I hope you have been good. I've been good. I've been well. I have been compiling my TBR for the summer and I cannot wait. This is the most perfect, well curated book list I've ever had. So I'm very proud of this list and I want to show it to you. I want to show you what I'll be reading over the summer and I cannot. Okay, so my TBR, my summer TBR has both nonfiction and fictional books, and that is because I'm trying to get into reading non-fictional books like they are, fiction. Like I want to read them with such ease, the same ease that comes naturally when I'm reading a fictional book. So there's a mixture of both, and it's like a balance. I like it. So the first one that I have is a non-fiction. It is a book of essays, How to Write About Africa by Binyavanga Wainaina. It's hardback. I really like hardbacks, even though they are more expensive. I really like hardbacks. And this book, I read one essay in this book and I was like, I really like it. I read it because it's a popular essay. It's the essay titled How to Write About Africa. I don't know what came first. I think the essay came first and the book came second regarding the title. So the essay is offered in a satirical tone, and it is addressing the biggest problem in African literature, being that when Western writers write about Africa, they rely on stereotypes and cliches, which is never good, and it is way beyond disrespectful. So I think the way that he wrote it, the way that he addressed it in the essay How to Write About Africa was amazing, and that's why I decided to pick out the whole book, because I'm like, if you wrote one essay like that, then the rest have to be amazing, right? So this is my first nonfiction book for the summer TBR, and I'm excited to dive into it. I'm excited to read all the essays in here. The second one that I have, which is much anticipated, and So I Raw by Abi Daré, the author of The Girl with the Louding Voice, the book that I just currently finished. I finished it not so long ago, and there's a video on it. If you want to go check it out, please do. So this book is continuing the story in the first book, in The Girl with the Louding Voice, and I'm really excited to read it because I really loved The Girl with the Louding Voice. So I can't wait to see what this one offers. I can't wait to continue with Aduni's journey, Aduni's story. It is one inspiring story that I am rooting for. Honestly, I'm rooting for the main character. I'm rooting for a story, and I can't wait, honestly. The other one that I have, which is nonfiction, is All About Love by Bell Hooks. So I've started reading this book. I'm in the first chapter, right? And when I say that this book is full of realizations that you didn't know you needed, oh my God. So in the first chapter, I was crying. After reading the first chapter, I cried, honestly. And I would advise, if you are about to read this book, if you want to read this book, I would advise that you have a journal. Like if you want to use it as a healing guide, I am using it as that, and I read it when I'm meditating. I read it as part of my devotion, and I really love it. I really love it. I haven't read all the 13 chapters. I'm still one down, 12 more to go, but I really, really like it. And everybody that has read it and finished it says the same thing. They say it's a book of healing, and you are going to know so many things you didn't know you needed to know. So I'm really, really excited to finish this one, and I think I'm gonna finish it just soon because I bought it last weekend and I've already started reading it, and I do believe that if a book is this good, then I'm going to finish it in less than anyways, the other book that I have, Nearly All the Men in Lagos Are Mad, by Damilare Kuku. She recently released a book, and I think the book is, mistake me if I'm wrong, I can't remember, but then it says, I think the title is All That Matters is Big Bum, or Big Bum is All That Matters, Big Bum is All That Matters. So with a title like that, you would want to read that book, right? So I have this fear of buying overhyped books, right? So I was like, let me first read some of her works, and then I can decide whether I want to read that book. But then I read the first story. It's a book of short stories that has 12 stories in here, and I read the first one. Oh my god. Oh, I was crackling up. I was literally crackling up. I was like, no, this has to be one of the best short stories books I've ever read. And I'm like, I can't wait to finish it. I think I might just finish it today because I have nothing to do for the rest of the day. I just came back from an exhausting day. So I need this. I need this, and I can't wait to finish it. It's so amazing. It's so funny. Funny is one word, but then oh my god, I really like this book. I really like the short story, the first one, and if it carries on like this, I'm gonna love this book. Like, this book would be one of my favorites, honestly, if the short stories are written like the first one. Okay, the next one that I have is First Woman. So this book has been in my TBR for the longest time, and I was like, okay, let's get it now. Because I've been saying I want to read it for the longest time. So now I can finally say that I plan to read it because I have a physical copy. It's a thick book. And one thing that I like about this book, before I haven't read it, but then the one thing that I liked so much is, you see the cover, right? And then and it's like full of reviews, and I'm like, oh yes, if I were to write a book, I wouldn't have a cover. It would just be full of reviews, so you can see that I actually know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I can't wait to read this one. I've heard so many good things about it, and I can't wait to read it. So that's why it's in here, because of all the great reviews that I've heard from it. And then those other reviews also do help. It's kind of a, I don't know how to say it, but then when you buy a book and you see that the best of the best people, like authors in the game, have recommended it and have spoken good things about it, it makes you feel like you made the right choice, and I think I did. Honestly. So the other one that I'm currently reading is this one. Is a book of essays by Chinua Achebe, and I've read the first 2 essays. I have 2 more to go, but I'm really glad that I purchased this book. I was a bit iffy about it because I'm not a personal essay kind of girl. I don't like personal essays because I feel like the ones that I've read, people have messed it up by either including too much of their personal details or personal story, and they leave out little for me to actually relate on. So I do think this one was amazing because although he speaks about his personal experiences, he also drives it back to the audience in order for them to relate, and I'm like, I really appreciate that. That is why he is Chinua Achebe, by the way. So this one is my TBR. I'm going to be done with it, but then it is in my TBR. The next one that I have is, and I'm very excited to read this one. I'm very excited to read Buchi Macheta. I've been looking for her books for the longest time. And she's one of the women that I admire the most when it comes to African literature, because I've read some of her stories and I was like, I love the way she writes. I love the way that I feel when reading it. So I was like, let me officially get myself a book, because I've been reading off other people and I don't like that. I want to be able to be like, I have a Buchi Macheta in my book collection, and I have one. This one is called The New Tribe. And I just picked it out because it's Buchi Macheta. Hello. And I'm really excited to read this one. It's, a small book. I don't know how this happened, but I have donkey ears. When I don't like when the corners are up. I want them flat, laid. Okay, but then really excited to read this one. It's really pretty. Like, look at it. It's so pretty. The last one that I have, unfortunately, it's the last one. is Nervous Conditions. So I didn't know this book was this old. It has a review by Chinua Achebe, and I'm like, whoa, not that, not, okay. So this one is an old book. I think it was first published in 1988, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that again. Yes, 1988. And I was like, I didn't know it was that old, because people have it now and people are buying it now and people are talking about it now. I was like, I thought it was a relatively new book, but then it's old, but I'm still excited nonetheless to read it. So I want to get a feel of her writing. This is my, testing book. I want to test her writing out, see if it's something that I can have more of, and if that goes well, I can have more books by her, then I can buy more books by her. But I do think I'm gonna like it, because people from my Bookstagram really do like it, and I do trust their opinions. I do. So these are my book, my TBR for the summer. Summer is fast approaching in South Africa, so you have to have something to help you through the heat, and this is what is going to be helping me through the heat. Obviously, I'm going to have more books. I do think I would just update the TBR, update this video, but I do think I will have more books, because I've been going to the bookshop so much lately. Like, someone stop me, please stop me. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again. Bye.